All right, thanks for joining us again. All right, gentlemen, welcome again to the show. Let's go straight into the program this afternoon. And of course, the first story says federal government declares state of emergency on erosion in Anambra State. The federal government has declared a state of emergency on erosion-related issues in Anambra State. The declaration was made by the Minister of State for Environment, Honorable Sharon Ikeazo, shortly after inspecting some gully erosion sites in the state on Monday. The team also visited emerging erosion sites at Umuatuora village, Enugu, which is already creeping into the main road, as well as Uruagu Nnewi Gully, which has swallowed up buildings and still threatens more buildings and properties in the area. Speaking at the site, the minister, who sympathized with affected persons in the areas visited, said that the federal government will urgently swing into action on the sites to prevent more damages. All right, gentlemen, in 10 seconds each.
Well, the issue of erosion is not only peculiar to Anambra State. In fact, majority of the eastern states, south, southeast, in fact, some part of southwest are not even left out, even the north. So it's a general thing. It's not only peculiar to only Anambra. And the federal government and the state government, what are they using ecological funds to do? Some of them, this is the kind of money they're supposed to channel for all these kind of things. So if they are not doing it right, then federal government should come, make sure that if you give the ecology fund, you don't utilize it, you don't tell us what you use it for, we are not giving you another one, so that all this kind of thing can be fixed.
Mr. Shopito.
There's something about Mrs. Sharon Ikeazu that I love so much. Maybe from her days in the pension, role. But this time around, I'm not sure I like this. First of all, it reminds me of the time when Desiani Alice Madueke was Minister of Works. Remember those many years back when she went to the Lagos Benin Express, and she was shedding tears. And 10 years later, the road was still exactly like that. Now, the road is still bad. So I'm wondering, what is it about our government officials and our government that just seems to incapacitate them and keep problems intractable? This erosion problem has been there forever. What have successive governments been doing about it? Budgetary allocations, just like you said, ecological fund is there. There's something called special zonal intervention fund in this budget, and I'm sure it's for these types of things. How come these problems don't go away? It's not rocket science. The science to stop this is in place. What are they doing?
All right, we're still on the erosion in Anambra State, and of course the state of emergency being declared by the federal government because it's become a national issue. Let's take a quick commercial break, and then we'll see this clip on erosion in Anambra, and then we'll come back to the table.
Many decades now, Anambra State has been ravaged by erosion. Erosion menace has been so devastating that it has wreaked havoc in so many communities in the state.
The soil makeup of Anambra State is susceptible to erosion. That's the one thing because of the type of soil we have within this soil. Improper termination of drainage. When people, either the government, private individuals, construct roads, or, well, in the course of constructing roads, provide drainage channels, but improperly terminated. That means without taking that drainage channel all the way to a termination point, which is preferably natural water course. That's the proper way to terminate drainages. So those cause erosion. In fact, that's the biggest contributor of erosion. Other causes of erosion is what we call deforestation. People clearing the forest without any remediation, meaning if you clear forest for any reason, you have to replace the trees that you have cut down.
Primarily, the cause of erosion in Anambra State will be zeroed to water erosion. And then in water erosion, what we have is, we could be able to say we have what we call sheet erosion, real erosion, and we have the gully erosion. The gully erosion is the advanced form of the real erosion. And then what we observe basically here is the gully erosion, which is the advanced form of real erosion. So in most places it starts as real erosion, and then we end up having the gully erosion. Then this gully erosion usually is caused here by lack of proper drainage. And that is what causes gully erosion anywhere. If the flood has a proper channel where it goes through, it will not carry sand as it goes. And then you find out that some of our roads are not built. And as the water moves down the slope, it carries, with the speed, it carries a whole lot of material. And then soil will move away from one point to the other, thereby depleting the soil as it goes. And then with time, the gully forms. And if this gully, depending on the soil structure around there, it could cave in again, forming a wider gully. So in Anambra State here, the major cause is lack of proper drainage.
There have been so many years of loss of lives, houses, farmlands, roads, and other property in the state. The past and present government in the state have been doing their best to find solution to this threat.
Like when I parked in here, this erosion style was just a minor one. But as a cause of unplanned construction here, understand me, the water runs here increased and washed away the whole of this place. You can see my second plot has already damaged it. Okay? So I'm calling on the governor anyway to do his best because we know from what we see on the ground, Anambra is working. So let him also do this to ensure that his good works goes round.
Recently, the flooding in Anambra State, which is caused by torrential rainfall, has sacked a lot of communities in the riverine areas of the state. And our working governor intervened swiftly by relocating the people in the affected areas and also invited the federal government to come to the aid of the state. And the vice president responded by coming to see things for himself.
So can you have a melon or weapon when all now? Yeah, Mela, Mark again, land. Mark, I need help from government.
All right, thanks for joining us again. So, gentlemen, I mean, from that short report, we can see that Anambra State, based on its topographical, location, thank you for that, is prone to erosion. But like you already said, Mr. Shokito, it's not rocket science. When you already know this is what the problem is, you work towards fixing it, don't you?
In fact, the track off from the two commissioners is just an indictment on the government of that particular state. Because ordinarily,
successive government.
Yes, because ordinarily, if you look at that particular foot of that erosion, you will know that erosion doesn't take place in a day.
No, it doesn't.
It just try to wider. All the ecological funds, all the successive governments, what are they doing with that ecological fund? Then another thing again is that it is an habit in this political era that if you have a small pothole, you start from potholes like this, they will not fix it until it's becoming larger. That is why you see all the roads that are so bad. There are some simple potholes that can be filled later on so that it cannot be able to extend. But the situation we are going to leave it like that until now becomes
until people start dying.
And that is the problem. And the one of this erosion is this: if you know the topography of your particular state, what you just need to do is that you don't do a road without a water channel. And when you do a water channel, you connect it such a way that you know where you are going to channel it, either to the river, either, so that everything that you are doing is really. There are some certain states that are even surrounded by water, and they still channel all their water through a particular route. So they need to do something. It's not only federal government all the time. What is the state government doing?
Okay, so state of emergency on this issue. Are we looking at timely intervention from the federal government, or this is once again whitewash, like they say?
That expression is similar to the word restructuring in Nigeria. State of emergency. What exactly does that mean? I've been asking this question. I've never gotten an answer. My understanding of a state of emergency, if you declare a state of emergency in a state or in a country,
prompt action.
No, ma'am. It's suspension of the rules of the law.
Okay.
You suspend the laws, you suspend the constitution.
Civil laws.
So all the civil laws are suspended so that now you cannot prompt action.
Okay.
Right? So if we're saying state of emergency in education, that was declared about a month and a half or 2 months ago. Where is the state of emergency? Because everything is still exactly as they are. You know, we are not seeing any prompt action. So we say state of emergency in erosion control in Anambra State. What exactly does that mean? Which law or procedure or policy is being suspended so that immediate action can be taken? I have an idea. For instance, our public procurement rules would ordinarily mean that you simply can't implement or execute certain projects within shorter than 6 months, because of the provisions of the law. Now, if you are saying a state of emergency in erosion control, it would automatically mean, based on the meaning of state of emergency, that you suspend that law. Now, do you have the power to do that? Because that law is a law, is an act of the National Assembly. You can't just wave it aside. So this is just pure political talk that will end nowhere. It's not today that will be, like I was saying before, I like that lady ordinarily because of her track record, and I think it's commendable that having become a minister of state, the first thing she's doing is drawing attention to problems in her immediate communities. I like that, but I think this is just pure politics. I don't see anything coming out of it. We've been at this for decades, and I think as long as Nigerian government is run the way it is run today, it will be there 20 years from now. We'll still be declaring state of emergency. The solutions are very simple: embankments, retaining walls, sand filling. You know, there are so many little things that you can do. Proper channelization and drainages within the state, within you know, the metropolis and all that. All of that can be done. So why do you need a state of emergency? Just do what you need to do.
Exactly. And of course, don't forget, we're talking about gully size erosion. You know, the kind of gully that can swallow buildings. Buildings. That's huge.
That must have taken like 20 years.
To have gotten to that, because erosion starts from like a shift. Like a crack, a shift, and then it builds up. For it to get to that level where buildings are swallowed up.
You know, God is very wonderful to us in this country. You know, in some parts of South America, there's something they call mudslide. We're lucky that we don't have that. People will just be dying.
People will be buried alive.
And that won't happen suddenly that you are not going to prepare for it. But a situation in which we have for 10 years, 15 years, and it's still like that, and we are not doing anything about it. And now we now want to call a state of emergency. Let us leave emergency and do what
we have to do. All right, and just to put that out there, that it's not only Anambra State that's got an erosion problem. Go to my home state, Edo State, and then you will see erosion in vivid or HD, like they say. You know, you will see erosion. I think the state government should actually wake up to their responsibilities, and make life easier for the population.